Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. Well, let's get this week started with some good stitching for our 3 months to the finish line. Today has been a red letter day. Started out with a die roll this morning, which was number 6, which was Noel's Bakery. And I wound up stitching 359 stitches in it over the course of time today. I had to do some other things today. Went with my husband to wash the car and do some errands and things like that. But throughout the day, I put in 359 stitches in here. So I've put in the ribbon and the red portions of the wreath that's on the door. I've come up here and I've done the colors in this top of the roof. I've done the red around that window. I've also put in the first color of green in the shrubbery, which is the dark green, and even went up here and color completed it on this side. There's a whole lot more up here, so I just went ahead and stopped there on that one. So I've got a little more going on completing this so I can pull it up this way. But then when I had the red on my needle, I went ahead and came up here and did this. And it's hard for you to see, but there's an entire row of red up there for the roof as well that went on tonight. So 359 stitches, that's really good. So the next time that I pick this up, the green that's in this wreath is also all over here. And that is why I stopped, because I wanted to get the roof in the house, all of this done, so that the background would all be the last thing that I do. So we're looking at least one more stitching session when it's rolled, maybe 2, I don't know. But 300 stitches, 359 stitches, did a lot. There's a whole lot of back stitching to be done in that, so that you have to account for too. But when I hit 359 stitches, I was talking with some friends, Zooming, stitching, and I thought, this is a bit harder to see. I have to pay attention, and I want to talk and visit with my friends as well. So I rolled the dice again. And I came up with the number 3, which is a wintry mix. And I thought, this is great. This is a perfect one to stitch while I'm talking. So I'll remind you, this is the Hillis pattern. And I'm doing 3 trees, these 3. This white snowflake, the red poinsettia, and then the white tree with the red birds. So today I put in 301 stitches, so I met that roll as well. So I finished off this tree. I had that one red poinsettia to do at the bottom, and I did that. And then I came over here and did this bottom motif as well. And then I went back up. This was the row that I finished last. So today, in addition to doing these 2 bottom motifs, I did this entire row, these little small ones up here, and this row. So I did all of those 2 rows of stitching to hit my 301 stitches. So now for this tree, I have 3 more motifs, 2 here and 1 at the top, and this tree will be done. And then I can come over on this side and do the other tree, the white tree with the red birds. So in my next stitching time, I'm sure I'll finish this tree and then move over and at least get a start on the 3rd one in this group. So yay, that went really well. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to put it back in the bag, in my project bag. So my exciting day today allowed me to do 2 dice rolls in one day and get my 300 stitches in both of them. Had I not been Zooming tonight, I might have worked a little bit longer on my full coverage, but I wasn't going to finish it in this one day of stitching. So I thought, well, let me take a break let me do something simpler while I'm chatting and visiting with friends. So now I just rolled the die for tomorrow. It's number 4. And number 4 is a new one that's a substitute in, and it is Peacock. So tomorrow morning, I will pull out Peacock, and I will try to put 300 stitches in my Peacock for the day. My bingo call worked with me today for tomorrow. The bingo call is whip of choice. So Peacock will be perfect for that. So that'll meet both of them. So I'm excited about that. Well, all I have on my calendar tomorrow is to work out with my friends at the gym, I think. And I don't know that I have anything else tomorrow night. Nope. I have a full day available other than my time at the gym to do my stitching. So I'm hoping to get a good 300 stitches in Peacock tomorrow. I think that's doable. So I'm excited about that. I worked on Let Love Rain. I got quite a bit of stitching done on that, just pushing it forward. I got 578 stitches in that yesterday, and I'm hoping to pull it out maybe again. If I get 300 stitches pretty quick tomorrow on my Peacock, then I may pull out Let Love Rain, because I left a motif unfinished, and I kind of like to go back and finish off the motif that I start. And so that's kind of calling my name. So I may do that tomorrow as well. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for letting me share my stitching with you. Thanks for coming along with me on my 3 months to the finish line. I got tickled at my friend Donna tonight. She was poking fun at me while we were chatting, saying that I had started out with 6 projects and 3 alternates, and now I've used almost all the alternates, and I've already had to pull in some whips that I hadn't even put on the list just to have enough to have 6 things to stitch on at one time. It's okay. That's fun. And I hope I can get some progress on these things. So the other thing I did is I sat down and I started making plans for 2026. It is October after all. And I started looking at the different new starts that I would like to do for next year. That's kind of one of the things I start with. I put down all of the starts you voted on, and I've got a month assigned to them. So if things don't change and I start them earlier, I know exactly when I'll be starting those. Mapped out my Patriotic stitching for the year so that I will get 25 new projects started by next July. They won't all be finished, but some of them will be. But I will have started 25 new things. And I also went through and captured a few of my new starts that I had hoped to do this year that were on my list when I was doing my planning last year, but they haven't come about, and that's because I've substituted other things in their place. I've done some gift stitching, or I've made something different than that because I was stitching for a giveaway or an exchange piece or something like that, and they just didn't make it on to my new starts so far this year. So I have kind of looked at putting them back on the list for next year, and a few of them have made that list. So that's a good thing. I want to let this set for a while now and see how I like it when I come back to it. I kind of like to do that before I share it with you. So then, but just know that I have started planning for my new starts. I already know the different events that I know that I'm going to participate in, and I'll share those with you soon in hopes that you'll share yours with me and tell me what you're going to be working on, and we'll go from there. So it's been a great day today, great day of stitching and accomplishments, and I got to talk to a couple of friends today. That was nice. So I'm going to say goodnight, and I'll see you again hopefully tomorrow. And in the meantime, Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 14th of October, and I'm here to tell you about my morning stitching. Well, my dice roll last night for today, number 4. And for me, that's a new substitute, which is Peacock. I'll remind you of what that's going to look like when it's finished. And that's from the Cottage Garden Samplings designers, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. These colors just drew me in. And so today was the first time I got a chance to stitch on it for my 3 months to the finish line, since it's a brand new edition. And I put in 382 stitches. And the reason that I did that number is I just made a decision that I was going to stitch an entire feather, and that if it wasn't enough stitches, I'd keep going. But if it was enough, that would be fine. But I wasn't going to stop at 300. I just wanted to keep going till I finished the feather. So that's why it was 382 stitches. And the feather that I finished is this uppermost feather right above that curls up above the head. Isn't that beautiful? So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more feathers to do. Isn't that amazing? And then there's a back stitched thread that runs through here as if they're holding on to a cross stitch thread. But I think it's absolutely beautiful. And my goal would be that I would stitch at least one feather for each roll that I get on this. So that may be how I push it toward a finish. We'll see. I don't know if this one will be finished in the next 3 months. I don't know how many times it'll be called to be stitched on. And there's quite a bit left to do on it, which is why it wasn't in the group initially, because I was trying to put things in that I felt like I could finish in 3 months and get them off my plate. So that's the good thing that I did. So that is the stitching for the morning. Now I'm going to have lunch with my hubby, and then I will go to the gym this afternoon. But other than that, that's all I have on the books for today. So I will get a chance to continue stitching, I think, unless my husband takes my time to help him paint the kitchen. He's finishing the kitchen, and he's got the paint ready to go. He's dusted down all the walls. He's cleaned all the surface tops, up near the height on top of cabinets and things like that. So he's ready to paint, and I have a feeling I'm going to get pulled into that. So that may kick into my stitching time a little bit, but I'm excited about getting it done. So that'll be great. So that's it from now. I'm going to take a picture of this now so I can post it in my bingo game, because my bingo call for today was whip of choice. So that worked out really well. I've had such a great morning of stitching. Coco and I had a lovely walk this morning, and it was chilly, hence the extra coat, extra top on here today. It's a little bit nippy out there. So fall is definitely in the air here. I think I'm going to now get the opportunity to pick something else I want to stitch on. And I have the choice of finishing a motif on Let Love Rain, or possibly pulling out one of my pieces for an acrostic that I haven't stitched yet. So that would be either Santa's Workshop, Reindeer Games, or Autumn in the Village, or Dressmaker's Daughter. So we'll see which one I decide on. I'll come back and share it with you, though, for sure. Happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's just a little bit later on October 14th, and I made the decision what I wanted to stitch on next. I decided to go for one of my acrostics, and I needed a letter E in 2 acrostics. So I decided I would do this Erica Michaels Reindeer Games. E, of course, for Erica. And so this is what I picked up to stitch on. And let me show you what I did. So I put in this red ribbon and these beautiful gold specialty stitches right there that are attached to the red ribbon, like little bells on the ribbon. And they're called Rounded Rhodes stitches. And those are made by stitching single thread over 3 squares or 6 threads. And you go up from corner to corner, and then center to center, and then corner to corner. And then you go across the same way. 3 across from top to bottom, middle to middle, bottom to top. And then on the very tip top, you go down in between those two, kind of in the middle. It's a shorter stitch over 2 squares, but you do an X on the top like a cross stitch. And it comes up to a padded, beautiful rounded road stitch. It's very lovely. I'd never done that one before. Anyway, learned it for this. And then I came down here, I had the R, and I added in the U and the D, and that got me to 207 stitches. So I thought, that's enough. That will be enough for the actual acrostic, because I thought of something today. I need to start my second patriotic stitch for today, for this month, and I haven't done that yet. So I need to do it. So I think I'm going to stop and do that today. I also did some thinking about the plans that I had come up with for 2026. And I definitely want to start 25 new patriotic starts before July. But in doing that plan, having to do 2 a month, it really knocked out a lot of other starts. So I thought if I could go ahead and do extras this year, get started a few extra this year in 2025, then that would be fewer ones I have to start in 2026, and it would leave room for some other new starts that I want to make, and they wouldn't all be patriotic starts. So be looking out for that. I might be throwing in a few new starts that are patriotic in addition to my 3 months to the finish line. So be watching for that. I think that's all about this project that I can share with you. So I am going to put it away now, and I think I'm going to go decide what patriotic stitch I'm going to start, pull it out, and get going on it. Until then, happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. It is later on October 14th, and I am here to let you know that I was able to start and finish my patriotic start for the day. I have split up the Patriotic Tiny Town from Heart and Hand into 5 parts because I also have the frill to go with it. And I'm using that as one of the 5 parts. And I have counted them out to be the same size, 40 by 30s. That's what this is. And I've split this one up to be 4 40 by 30 pieces. So that'll give me 5 40 by 30 pieces that I will make into ornaments to go on my patriotic tree. So today's session was this pinwheel here, this house, and 2 of the 3 silos. I didn't need the last one. So I started and I finished it today. So I'm real excited about that. I did notice too that on her finishes, she put little buttons on some of the pinwheels. In fact, she put a little button on all 3 of the pinwheels, which are 4. She has 3. So I thought that was really sweet. And so I will find a little tiny button to put on there before when I get ready to fully finish it. But the cross stitch is done. And so that can go with this one now. Isn't that exciting? So that's been done, been taken care of. And now my second patriotic stitch of the month has been started. And that one has been finished, which is great. A start and a finish. So this one is the one I was thinking that I might go ahead and work on a couple ahead so that I can start some extra things next year instead of 2 Patriotic stitches every month. But we shall see. We'll see what I decide to do. I worked on my acrostic with this one as well, because the last letter I needed for my daily 30, which was card making, was the letter I. And luckily, this is by Heart in Hand. So the designer is one of the things you can use to meet that criteria for that acrostic. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll be posting that here in a minute. And that will be the end of my daily 30 acrostic that I have to worry about. I still will have the Elf in Santa's Workshop and the Autumn in the Village and Dressmaker's Daughter for my dead end ahead from 24 Hours Cross Stitch. But my E for Eric Michael's Reindeer Games finishes out the magazine monthly challenge as well. So I finished 2 acrostics today with the 2 stitches that I've just shown you in the segment right before this one and this one. So that is some great stitching. I'm excited about that. So now it's time for dinner, and then I'm going to be watching the new season starting the first episode of Matlock in the new season. We'll begin to do that tonight. So I may not be back up here to see you till tomorrow, but if not, then happy stitching till we talk again. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina. Oh, come on in. Sit down. Stay for a while. Stitch with me. I am thrilled to be able to share with you some stitching that I was able to accomplish today. I decided today to work on another dice roll, and before I could roll the dice, I had to put in a substitute for one of my finishes off of my 3 months to the finish line. And then when I rolled the dice, I rolled a 2, and that was the number for what I had substituted. And so it turned out that I had just put it on the list, and I got to work on Let Love Rain today. I've decided to put Let Love Rain on my 3 months to the finish line. Now, before you say, Dina, you said you were going to try to finish that in time for your anniversary in June. Well, yes, I did say that. And I do want to finish it in time for my anniversary in June. But one of my friends, Ann Wheeler, who's in charge of our Determined Stitchers group, messaged me the other night and said, hey, you ought to put Let Love Rain in as one of your alternates, because you're trying to get a lot of stitches in it. And although you may not finish it in time by December, it'll help you push it forward. And I got to thinking about that. I thanked her for the suggestion, and I got to thinking about it. And I thought, you know, I used it for the bicycle races so that I could put extra stitches in it. Or at least I did for the second one, the La Vuelta one. And I really enjoyed doing that. So I thought, you know, she's got a good point. I could actually get some extra stitches in it and push it a little bit further along, depending on how often it's rolled. And it's not one I expect to finish by the end of the year, but it could get closer than if I didn't do it. So, and great idea, great suggestion, and I did it. And then I rolled it. For the first roll after that, I thought that was funny. So today I got busy, and I wanted, you know, I had mentioned the last time I worked on it, I had to leave a motif unfinished, and I don't like doing that. So today I knew that I needed 300 stitches in order to make the roll. And so I knew I needed that much. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to work on this motif and see how close I can get to a finish when I hit 300 stitches. So I got up to around 392 stitches and looked, and it was like, well, I could stop here. I'm at a good stopping point, or I can just keep going and finish this motif. and just let this be what I stitch on today. So that's what I did. I finished the motif I was working on. So I finished this one. Isn't that beautiful? It's got such pretty, you can't tell, but this darker color in the center is the same blue as the bird. It's hard to see. It's nighttime here, plus, you know, I just have the one light shining on it. So now in this space right here will be a replica of these two designs. They will be over here on this side as well. And then guess what? I have to get this border on down. And you see where I have these multicolored spacers here, these little, looks almost like a chain link. That goes under here as well. And then I will be on the bottom row. The bottom row for me. I'm leaving out a whole section. But I would, when I get this motif done here, and I can pull my borders on down to where I can roll this up, I will be working on my bottom row. I'm excited, very excited. So that's 694 stitches total today. Finished this. And I already had part of it started. So this was a big motif, a very big one. And so now the next time it's rolled, I will start working on these. I'll most likely would do the butterfly first and then position that flower pot underneath it, because my intention, this one is 2 spaces off of the border, and I will go 2 spaces off the border, and I'll do the butterfly here to position it, and then I'll count off of it to do this one just like it's supposed to be, so that it'll be perfectly situated, and it will mirror from side to side the exact spacing from the border. And I think I've measured it with a tape measure, and I know it's going to fit in there, but I think if I go from this side over, I may even have an extra space in there than what's on the pattern. I don't know, but I know I'll have plenty of room. So that was my work today, and that took me most of the day to do that off and on, because I had other things to do. I bought groceries today. I cooked. My husband took Coco to the park and took her for a shower, gave her a bath. And anytime he bathes her, I always make sure I put fresh sheets on the bed, and, you know, just, that's a good time to clean everything. And so I did all that today. And then we went back to choir tonight. And so, that was another chunk of time, out of my, what would be normal stitching time for me. I've also had a couple of phone calls today with friends, and not able to stitch and talk during those phone calls. So a little bit of time away from my stitching today, but that was okay. It was a good time well spent, and thoroughly enjoyed that. So that worked out very well. Anyway, tomorrow is a lovely day. Tomorrow is Thursday, and not only do I have a date with my husband to watch Survivor, but I get to go to the gym tomorrow and work out with my trainer, so that'll be fun, I'm hoping. But tomorrow morning, I don't have anything on my calendar, so I plan on stitching, doing some planning maybe, organizing, doing some things tonight. It may keep me up for another hour or two, and it's already 11 o'clock. So I'll be staying up a little bit later tonight because I can sleep in tomorrow, which will be great. So anyway, I'm going to get busy, and I will hopefully have more stitching to share with you tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. Today is the 16th of October. It's Thursday, and I'm having a great day of stitching. Well, I got started early this morning, and my bingo game called for an acrostic whip. Well, I looked at my acrostic and said, this is an opportunity for me to stitch on one of the ones I haven't stitched on yet. that's not in my 3 months to the finish line so that I can get that acrostic letter knit. So I pulled out Santa's Workshop. It was one of the 3 I needed to stitch on. And so I pulled it out. I worked on Santa's Workshop, and I worked on it for 246 stitches. Let me show you what I did. So I came over here and extended this border up to the page break. This is the 2 bottom pages together. I extended this up through the page break, and then I took this darkest color of green and I came on up both sides of that. And that afforded me the stitches that I had today. So that more than met the 100 stitches I needed at 246. That more than met those 100 stitches that I needed for my bingo game, and it allowed me to touch this whip. So I was happy about that, and now I'll post that in the 24 hours cross stitch, which is where I used it. Now, I don't want to get those threads mixed up. So that's Santa's Workshop. Now, then I rolled the dice. And today's roll was the number 1. And number 1 is my December quilt. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is supposed to be a Christmas present for a friend. And this is toward the end of October. So I looked at it today and said, oh, I have a whole lot more left to stitch on this. I need to step this up. So I knew I needed to put in more than 300 stitches on this roll. And the minimum roll that I do before I'll move on is 300 stitches. But today, instead of doing a minimum number of stitches, I'll show you the picture. I decided that I was going to take where I was, I was over here, where I was on the piece, where I had just finished working on this quilt right here. And I mentioned to you there was going to be a stocking hanging over here. I went from here all the way over. I did 1,223 stitches on this today. It was like, I got to get some progress on this one. And I'm really tickled with it, you guys. It looks so nice. So I actually stitched in that green border right here on the edge of the quilt. And then I stitched this entire railing, and well, everything from that green border over I stitched today. Now, I know that the wallpaper are half stitches, but trust me, I counted them 2 for 1. So for every 2 half stitches, I counted it as 1 cross stitch. And I still had 1,223 stitches. But isn't that wonderful? I wanted to show it to you because now it's time for me to roll it up. I'm not going to do the back stitching first. I'm going to wait and do that all at one time because I have a feeling that a lot of the same color will be used up and down. And I'll just do that after I finish stitching it. But now that you've seen it, I can roll it up a little more to probably about right here so that I can get all the bottom of it into my workspace here. I have longer end bars, but I have short arms. I'm a short person, and it hurts to try to reach up under because I 2-hand stitch, and I prefer a shorter end bar. And these are my favorite 10s. Anyway, I am tickled, very tickled. That is the most work I've put into any of my 3-month to the finish line pieces at one time so far. And it could be rolled again tomorrow, who knows? But I will tell you, I just got on a roll today, and I was in the mood, and I was also highly motivated to try to get some progress on it because I want to get it closer to a finish. I want to have it ready for her this Christmas. So there you go. December quilt. So that was my die roll for the day. So I'm going to stop now. It is dinner time, and I need to do a little shopping. My husband and I need to run to Costco, and so we're going to grab a bite to eat while we're out. And then when we get home, we're watching Survivor together. So that may be the end of my stitching for today, but what a great day of stitching. So I'm tickled about it. Glad to be able to share it with you. And I hope that you are having a great month of stitching. And if you're doing the 3 months to the finish line, I hope it's going really well for you too. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 17th of October. And today I have great accomplishment. I've gotten quite a bit of stitching done today. My die roll today was for the number 6, and that number is for my stocking or my Christmas ornaments. And this is for the Gold Dimensions Vintage Christmas Village ornaments. And as you may recall, I'm working on Noel's bakery. So today, when I got this one, I thought I really need to get this one finished. I'd like to get it finished this month if I could. And I'm only halfway through the month, so that's totally possible. But today, I really wanted to work on that. So I put in 503 stitches. I had set a goal for myself today to put in at least 500 stitches before I change to another project. I have been doing 300, but I'm thinking on this one and Let Love Rain, the two big ones I'm trying to finish. This one seems big to me because it's full coverage, but Let Love Rain is large in size. I'm going to try to do 500 stitches if I can whenever they're rolled. So that'll push them forward just a little bit more. My bingo call today was number 6, and it was on my board, 3 months to the finish line project. And this is one of those projects. So I will get to count this for that as well. But here's where I got to today. I hope you can tell a big difference. 500 stitches does seem to make a big difference to me, but I can tell you that the all of the background here is completed except the sky, and on this side it's complete up to here. So I have a little bit of the trees left to do over here, and I have, I think, one more color in the roof up here between the roof and the sky, and then I just have the sky to do for stitching. And then I get to start all the back stitching. So there it is. Oh, that's really making progress. I think it's turning out so pretty. So a 503 stitch progress on that one. So I will take a picture now and post it in my bingo group, and that'll take care of that. And then it is only about 5:30. So my husband and I did something different today. We went out for an early breakfast, and he's painting our kitchen. And so he wanted to get back home so he'd have the whole day to paint. And he has been doing the hardest part. So he has been doing all of the edging around the cabinets, and he's done the little sections that are the little tiny pieces between the molding and the cabinets. And he's done all the hard stuff today. And then hopefully tomorrow he can do the rest of the cut in from the ceiling and just do the roller to get the walls all taken care of. So today was do the hard part, and then tomorrow hopefully he'll get to finish it up. So I've been trying to keep Coco occupied. I took her for a nice long walk this morning, but he needed a break this evening, so we grabbed a quick bite to eat, and then he took off with Coco to go to the park. And so they'll be gone for a little while, maybe an hour or two. And that'll give him a big break, and that'll give her a nice break as well. So I may get more stitching time tonight, which will be wonderful. So now I think what I'm going to do is what I did the other day. I'm going to look back at my acrostics, and I have one whip left to stitch on, and I will have completed all of my acrostics for the month. And so I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to pull out and work on and get that done. So if I do, I'll come back and share it with you. But in the meantime, until then, happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina. It is Sunday morning. It is the 19th of October. Yesterday's bingo call was for a gift stitch. So once I finished working on my die roll from the day before, I decided I was going to take a break and do gift stitching. So I'm going to have to ask my sister Stephanie to look away because this gift is for her. Thanks for doing that. So let me show the rest of you a reminder. This is what I'm working on for my sister Stephanie. And I think you will be able to tell a bit of difference in what I stitched. I'm so excited about this. I put in 654 stitches in this yesterday. And in case you don't recall what it looked like before, I put in this entire section right here. So I think that's really taking shape. I'm excited about it. And I was tickled at how fast it kind of came together when I was stitching it. Of course, it was one color in that section, but even so, I was really, really pleased with that progress. Okay, sis, you can look back. The good news about that is I had used that stitch as one of my acrostic entries, and it was the last one of the whips I needed to work on for my acrostics for the month of October. So I actually finished my last letter on my last acrostic yesterday. So, woohoo, that's exciting. So now I am working on my 3 months to the finish line, at least to the end of this month, exclusively, now that I don't have other prompts and things to do. I have one monthly requirement that I have not finished, and that is I had put on my list that I wanted to finish that full coverage ornament, Noel's Bakery, this month. So if it's not rolled again soon, then I will definitely pull it back out and share it and work on it, whether it's rolled or not. It's one of the 3 months to the finish line pieces, but I had decided I wanted to finish it this month. So I mentioned that yesterday I had a 3 months to the finish line die roll, and it actually was the number 3, and that was a Wintry mix. And I worked on it yesterday for quite a while, and it actually, when I looked at my bingo roll for today, it said it needed to be a 3 month to the finish line project. And I thought, oh, that's good, because I'm working on one that I don't want to put down. So I went to bed last night really late, and then this morning I got up and I finished it. And so I put in 749 stitches over the last 2 days. But because I did this today, I get to use it for my bingo game. But here it is. This is my version of a Wintry mix. This is on 32 count dark cobblestone. And I actually stitched mine with Sulky. And I really, really like it. It's only a few colors. This is my little Sulky box. I had pulled 2 of the off-white color. There are 2 shades of red, because there are 2 shades of red in the bird. This is for the beaks, and that's it. So this is a very small piece if you want to kit it up for either specialty floss or Sulky thread. I liked the Sulky thread, and the reason I wanted to use it for this piece is because of all the white stitching. And with Sulky, you only have to use 1 strand. At least that was my thought process. Then when I got to this tree, because I started the one in the middle, when I got to this all-white tree, I realized these snowflakes are dimensional. So some of them had thicker lines in them than others, which meant you were supposed to use a thicker thread. In the pattern, Sue actually called for a different weight of white thread. But since I was using Sulky, I just stitched it twice. I just went ahead and I stitched it with 2 strands instead of 1 to make it really nice and thick. So you can see in some of these snowflakes, you can tell there's some thicker lines and thinner lines. It's not on all of them, it's just on some of them. But it was to make texture, to make them look different. And I think that's really, really pretty. But doesn't the white lay nicely on this beautiful dark cobblestone? I think it shines really well. And using the Sulky makes your stitches look so neat because it's 1 strand, you know. But this is it. This is my Wintry mix. And I do love it. I think it turned out really well. And it's small enough that I'm hoping I have a frame here that I could frame it myself. We'll have to see. I have not looked at that. I'll look at that in just a little bit. But that is another finish of my original 3 months to the finish line group, which means that of that initial 6, the only 2 I have left to keep working on is December Quilt and Noel's Bakery. And those were my 2 big ones that I needed to work on. So kind of looking ahead for the rest of this month, I've got in some alternates. As you know, I pulled in Peacock, and I pulled in the 10th Christmas stocking and started and finished it. So now I can pull in number 11. And so at this point, having finished a Wintry mix, I have a choice. I can either double up that number to another one, or I can put in another alternate. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do right now. But when I do decide, I'll let you know. I have already pulled in Let Love Rain and Peacock and the 11th stocking. So I've got 3 new ones to be working on. But I really want to finish Noel's Bakery and then December Quilt. Noel's Bakery because I want to be able to start my next full coverage. And if I can start it before the end of the year, maybe I could finish it before the 6-month mark and start that last one and finish it next year. I'd love to finish the series next year. And then, of course, my December Quilt is supposed to be a Christmas present. So I need to get busy on that one. So I'll let you know what I decide to do. But I will tell you, I can already say that, in my opinion, this 3 months to the finish line has been a big success. And I'm very, very happy with the progress. I am enjoying what I'm doing. If I get to working on the piece and I'm just not really feeling it, I do my 300 stitches and I move on. And then I've been able to work on some extras working on those acrostics. And so it's kept it fun. It's not boring at all for me. I hope it's not for you because you get to see things a little more frequently. But I'm trying to sprinkle other things in here as I'm working on them so that you'll get to see them as well. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I know I will, and I'm planning on it. And I'll talk to you soon. And in the meantime, happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is much later on the 19th. It is Sunday afternoon, and I am here to tell you I've had a lovely day. My friend Donna visited church with Tommy and I this morning, and then we had lunch together. And then after Donna stopped by and walked her puppy Harley and picked him up in her cross stitch, she came over and we stitched a bit together today. In addition to that, we are going to be taking a tutorial, or being privileged to have a tutorial tonight by one of our stitching friends, Lori from Once Upon a Stitch. And she's going to teach us how to make an ornament that she learned herself. She's shown it on her channel, and Donna and I both liked it so much. She said, well, if you'll get these supplies, I'll show you how to put it together. And so we've got everything prepped and ready. And tonight at 7 o'clock, we're going to do a Zoom call, and she's going to walk us through making our ornament like the ones that she made. And so we'll be doing that. So Donna took Harley on home to give him a good walking, and so he could be napping and rested by the time we all get on Zoom tonight. It's our Zoom night anyway with Dee and Lori, and so we're excited about that. But this afternoon, while Donna was here, I wanted to stitch on one of my 6 months to the 3 months. I don't know why I keep saying 6. 3 months to the finish line projects. And since I finished one earlier, I was real excited about that. And I thought, well, I'll just put some extra stitches in one I don't expect to really finish during this process. But I would like to push it further along, and that is my Let Love Rain. So here is what Let Love Rain from Teresa Kogut looks like. And as you know, I am only doing the top 3 rows, and then I have worked out what to do to put the border, the floral border across the bottom once I get here. So mine will be a little bit smaller. I'm going to save that and either do it as a separate piece or not do it at all. I think this is the piece Donna wants to do herself and not this. So isn't that funny? But today, I'm treating it as if I rolled the dice and got the number, even though I just picked it today to work on. And I did 309 stitches today, and I'll show you what that did for me. It finished the butterfly on this side. I am so tickled with that. So tickled. So now I have to replicate this motif right here, right under this butterfly. And that row will be finished. And I can roll this up a bit, and I can bring my border on down. I'll have another one of these chains to go through here, and I'll be ready to start my bottom row. I'm excited about it. So that was 309 stitches. When Donna looked at it, she said, you know, that butterfly may hit your 300 and you could stop and do something else if you want to. And I said, do you really think there's that many stitches in it? She said, I think so. She was right. 309, Donna, to be exact. So I am going to put this back away, put all of this up, get my supplies ready over here for my tutorial so that I can be ready when Lori gets on the Zoom call with us to teach us how to do that. And then I'm going to line up something else to stitch on. I don't know, in my head, I don't know what that's going to be quite yet. But I'm sure that it won't take us the whole time we're together this evening to work on this ornament. So I will need something else to stitch on. And I'll go ahead and pull that and see what I want that to be. And then I can share that with you, of course, hopefully tomorrow, because it'll be too late tonight for me to film again. Thanks for letting me share all my daily progress with you. I appreciate so much the kind comments I'm getting from people encouraging me with my 3 months to the finish line and commenting about how many finishes I'm getting and how excited they are for me. I am excited to tell you this latest finish. I already had a frame picked out from the stack that I bought from Hobby Lobby when they were on clearance. And Donna loves it, thinks it'll fit perfectly in there. And so Monday, I'm going to go over to Hobby Lobby and see if I can't get that one framed. Then I can use it this Christmas, which will be great. So maybe you'll have another FFO to see before too long, a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, I hope you've had a great weekend. And I hope your week starts out tremendous tomorrow. And all along, I hope you enjoy your stitching. Happy stitching, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Dina. Today is the 20th of October. And yes, and I had to check. And I have had a fabulous, fabulous day of stitching. So the one thing I want to share with you is that first of all, I don't know. Let me see if I haven't talked about this before. So one of the things I want to share with you is that I had a Zoom call with a couple of my stitching friends last Sunday night. And we decided to put together an ornament. And our friend Lori from Once Upon a Stitch had done this with one of her stitching groups, and she offered to teach Donna and I how to do it. So she sent us a list of supplies to purchase and what to do with them to get everything prepped and ready. And so while we were on our call, we put it together, this beautiful pinwheel ornament. And you use a fat quarters or charm packs. You use the 5-inch charm packs. And so I ordered one of these, and Donna and I split the fabrics. And then you have to have a shaft button for each side. And I had these old vintage buttons from my mom. They were part of her button collection. She only had the 2. And I just think they are perfect for a Christmas ornament. I think that makes it beautiful. And so there you have it. We put that together and finished it last night while we were on our call together, and I was tickled to death to be able to do that. Today's been a great day of stitching, an absolutely great day of stitching. I had a good amount of time to stitch. I had very few errands I needed to do, and my husband was kind enough to let us run and get a quick bite for lunch, and so that made it even easier. But I had a huge milestone today. This focusing on these 6 pieces to finish, and now I have finished all but one of my original 6. And I have finished some of the alternates already that have been put in, and then the die has been rolled. But the die roll yesterday was for my Noel's Bakery, my full coverage ornament. And I stitched on it yesterday and put in 447 stitches in it. And then today I put in another 1,256. So you know what I'm going to tell you, right? I finished it. So let me share it with you. I'm so excited about it. Here it is. And in case you can't tell, I'll try to turn it where you can see that there are French knots for the snow. And there were supposed to be French knots for all the little berries in both the wreath here and the greenery above and below the sign. And I chose to put red beads in there. So if I turn it sideways, you can see that. So I did a combination. French knots for the little white snowflakes, but I did use little red beads for the berries in there. But now Noel's Bakery is complete. I finished the cross stitching today, and I did all of the back stitching. And again, I counted the half stitches 2 for 1, and I counted all the back stitching 2 for 1 because it was a single strand. And it was, you know, each little stitch to me was half of a cross. So I counted it 2 for 1 as well. And there is so much back stitching in these pieces, but they are so beautiful when you finish them. Such a lovely, lovely ornament. I love it. So pretty. I'm so glad to have it done. This was my final monthly requirement for October, was to finish this one. I had actually said I wanted to finish it in the month of October. And I am so tickled, so very tickled that I was able to do that. So you can see the first 3 are up here. This is now number 4. I have 2 left to do. I have 2 spots for them. And you can see that I do have room here that's probably, you know, all that fabric is down through here too. So that is definitely right in the center of the fabric here. So you see where I had marked the center of each square. I think I'm going to maybe go up 1 or 2 spaces from there for the rest, for these last 2, because I have plenty of room up here, and this makes it kind of tight. So 1 or 2 spaces different, I don't think will matter in the finishing of it, because they're going to be cut out anyway, but it'll make it easier for me to stitch. So that'll be good. Now, this is October. I may not start another one of these until December or January, because I'd like a break from it. Full coverage is not my jam. And so, even though that is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, look at all that back stitching in there. It is harder for me to stitch on it. I just find it's more difficult for me. Not something that I really love doing. And so I love these. I think they're gorgeous. And I love them because my son gifted me this kit. And I want to make it because it was a gift from him. So that's why I'm doing it. Anyway, that's been my stitching today. I actually had a Zoom call tonight with friends, and I finished it while we were talking. It was so fun. And then I told them I was going to go eat a cookie to celebrate. We had gotten cookies after church on Sunday. They had a little cookie and apple cider time, and I didn't eat the cookies Sunday, but they were wonderful apple cinnamon spice cookies that our chef from our kitchen at church had made, and they were good. So I had that to celebrate tonight. So now, what is my plan? Well, now that I have finished the Noel's Bakery, I went ahead and said, I'm not going to pull in another project. I'm just going to duplicate numbers. I'm going to add numbers to what I have left on my current list. My current list is December Quilt, Peacock, and to start and stitch my 11th stocking. So right now, my December, and Let Love Rain. Sorry, I missed one. So I went ahead and put the numbers 1 and 3 on December Quilt. Let Love Rain took the number 2 spot. Peacock is number 4. And my 11th stocking was number 5. Noel's Bakery was number 6. So I think at this point, I will say that December Quilt is 1 and 3. And Let Love Rain will be 2 and 6 until I get my December Quilt finished. Because I really want to finish it before Christmas. I want to have it done for my friend for her Christmas present. So rather than continuously adding in new things, I would rather have more rolls on that one until I finish it. I think this one we'll try to do for the next few weeks until I get it done. So because my 11th stocking is already there as number 5, when I rolled tonight, I got number 5. So in the morning for tomorrow, my roll will be, or my stitch will be, to start and work on my 11th stocking from Annie Beez, Christmas stockings. And hopefully in the next day or so, I can get that one stitched. And I will, I think at that point, substitute in the 12th stocking, because at least in a few days after that, I might add that onto the list, because that would help me finish up that series and maybe even give me time to fully finish them before Christmas, which would be awesome. So we'll see how that goes. So tomorrow, a new piece. I get to start working on my 11 Piper's Piping, and hopefully I'll get a long way on that. And I also took a piece that I just finished to Hobby Lobby, and it is ready, and I'll try to pick it up tomorrow if I can, and I'll share that with you tomorrow. Happy stitching, everybody. I hope you have a great day tomorrow, And I'm going to call it a night and go join my puppy and husband in a good night's sleep and get up in the morning and start it over again. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow with more stitching. Happy stitching. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is Dina. This is October the 21st. It is a Tuesday, and I am excited to share with you a couple of things today. First of all, I picked up my latest FFO at Hobby Lobby this morning. I still have it wrapped up because I'm going to store it till Christmas, but this is the frame. It's one of the frames I had purchased at Hobby Lobby when they had a 70% off sale on custom frames that people had ordered and then either didn't pick up or it didn't work or it was a duplicate. Anyway, for whatever reason, they had extras and they put them over on the wall for 70% off. And this was one of the ones I got. And when I decided to stitch this Sue Hillis pattern, a wintry mix, I picked my 3 favorite trees because I knew they would fit in this frame if I did that. And so I took it over there yesterday with my Hobby Lobby frame, and they pinned it for me, popped it in, put the spacers and glass in for me, put all the stuff on the back to hang it with, and called me and said, "It's ready." And I went and got it today. But I think this is a dark cobblestone fabric, and I think it's just beautiful in this pewter kind of colored frame. I just love it. So that was my latest FFO I wanted to share with you. And then I had rolled the dice today to come up with what I was going to stitch on. And I had substituted in my 11th stocking for number 5. And the number that came up for today was number 5. And so I actually started and finished this. So I rolled the dice last night to see what my number would be today. And when I saw that it was my 11th stocking, I went ahead and pulled everything out and got it ready, and I got it started. And I did just a little bit of stitching on it last night to get it going. And then today I just stitched on it off and on all day long. And I got my 11th stocking finished without the beads, but I'm beading them all at the end together. So that's number 11. I have one left. So I had mentioned earlier that I was thinking about just putting the extra numbers as they come up on the other pieces I have, just so that, you know, I can still put stitches in the December quilt and the Peacock and Let Love Rain until I finish another one. So if you've been doing the 3 months to the finish line with me, I hope you're doing well. I don't know that you have finished enough of them that you think it's complete yet, but I'm getting close to doing that. I really, truly only have one left of my original 6 pieces to finish. And then of my original 3 alternates that I had put on the list, I have Peacock and the 12th stocking as the only other ones to finish. So if I can get all of that finished, it will be my entire original list. And I think that will be a good accomplishment, a really good accomplishment. But for now, I have just been stitching away, trying to finish these pieces. And it has been good. It has really been good. I've enjoyed doing that. So I'll keep sharing it with you as I go. In the meantime, until we can talk again, enjoy all of your crafting and happy stitching. So someone has decided that they need a little attention this morning. And I'm trying to stitch. Working on my December quilt today. That's what I rolled. And good morning. And Daddy's just left for a long run, and so someone is feeling a bit lonely. Yeah. She doesn't like the camera, so she won't move, but she was right here in between my knees, and now she's decided to go and lay down while Mama stitches.